Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Father.
I think you will agree with me if I tell you that today's readings all have to do with, again, hope. I never tire of talking about hope because Sunday in and Sunday out, we are told like it is. Through parables, through fables, through stories like we hear now from the book of Job. Job was a very interesting figure in the Old Testament. Job was a very wealthy man by any standard. He had the wherewithal to run a big family of 10 children. He had a lot of livestock. He had a lot of land. He had what it takes. In other words, he is well-to-do. And he has the goods in order to help others. But Job, all of a sudden, was thrust to the other side. And the other side meant utter penury, poverty. And not only poverty, perhaps it's the least of his problems. But Job lost all his 10 children. And beyond losing everybody he loved, he lost all his livestock. And as if nothing else mattered, as if he didn't get enough of pain, Job also was punished or received a very, very painful and shameful condition. Warts and the equivalent of leprosy. He had all sorts of sores on his skin. Job was the image and the epitome of what suffering is like. If you think you are in pain, if you think you are in darkness, if you think you are suffering, then I ask you to look at Job. And he was right there on the other side of well-being. Today, the Gospel of Mark starts out by telling us like it is. The Lord Himself saying, "Let us cross to the other side." And would you care to know what the other side meant? The other side meant the place where there was no faith, the place where there was no hope, the place of darkness, the place that didn't believe in God. It was the land of the Gentiles. It was the land of people who walked in darkness, who have never seen a light except today, when the Lord said, "Let us cross to the other side." The beautiful thing about the report of Mark, short as it is, gives so many details. And this is one detail I'd like you not to miss today. When the Gospels talk about the Lord sleeping, when the Gospels talk about the Lord in stupor, asleep, it was on the occasion of great danger. It was on the occasion of great suffering and uncertainty. It was the occasion that was worse than the pandemic situation that we are now experiencing. The Lord is asleep. The Lord was sleeping, and the disciples who could act worse than Job, who never remonstrated against God and who remained loyal even if he was already on the other side of well-being, on the other side of wealth, on the other side of, goodness and certainty and comfort and everything positive. The Lord was asleep. But the disciples' prayer was beyond prayer. It was an accusation. "Lord, do you not care?" It was an accusation. Number one, you don't care. Number two, anong gagawin mo rito? That was hardly a prayer of one who really allowed the innermost depths of his heart to cry and ask the Lord, "Lord, help us." It started with an accusation. "Lord, do you not care?" The disciples were on the other side. And I would like to believe that many of us, many times in our lives, could go to the other side. And the other side means, I believe, but I don't know where my faith will lead me. I hope, but I don't know when my next meal is going to be. I trust the Lord, but I don't know where I will get the tuition for the enrollment that is happening right now. You go to the other side, and the other side is the side of darkness, unbelief, uncertainty, lack of faith, lack of trust, lack of hope, suffering. And we complain, even if our suffering doesn't get anywhere near the level of suffering of Job. So we act like the disciples, Lord, you do not care. What are you gonna do about it? Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? And this is the good news that I'd like you to hold on, dear friends. We may be on the other side time and again. We may be suffering. We may be questioning. We may be in tears. We may be folded up in pain and suffering and everything negative. But there is one thing that the Gospel of Mark, Matthew, and Luke tells us. When the disciples told him, Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? What did he do? He rose. And this is what I'd like you to bring home. In answer to pain, in answer to people who are now wallowing on the other side, in answer to people who have no certainty, no certitude, no stability, but a lot of questions, Jesus rose. And his answer is simply one. He rose from the dead to disprove all our lack of faith. The translation in English is he woke up, but he rose. That's what it meant. He rose, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, Quiet, be still. The wind ceased, and there was great calm. And he asked them now, it is now his turn to ask us, Why are you terrified? Do you not yet have faith? And they were filled with great awe, and said to each other, Who then is this whom even wind and sea obey? Dear friends, there is no doubt we are all suffering from all sorts of uncertainty and lack of trust, lack of hope. We begin to question so many things. We question leadership. We question everything except ourselves, of course. But the Lord has only one answer, and this answer is once and for all. For here, for now, for always, forever, for everyone. He rose, rebuked the wind, and said, Be quiet and still. I invite you to be quiet and still today and every day of the week. And next week I'll see you and we'll talk again about hope. And sometimes the hope that we will be talking about has to do with a little scolding, a little reprimand from the Lord. Today we are reprimanded a little after giving us the wherewithal to go on hoping. And the reprimand sounds soothing into the ears of those who believe. Why are you terrified?